even though I'm not Oriental or Asian descent, how to say it, I I am I'm still a man that became uh, more mature, more um, well, perhaps less mature and more mature, but in other ways, more or less. How to really say it? I I grew into an adult, and at this age here, as you can see, this is one of the pictures I have left in my personal belongings that I pick it up. Okay, this is just see. Okay, that's my bulldog in the background. That year, actually, this bulldog here, Bubba, he was born on my birthday on April 21st in 1995. Coincidentally, that's the day he was born. And then this, I just look kind of, I have that picture in the view, but I just saying that briefly. This picture here is me in the 8th grade at Strong Junior High School. I don't believe I marked the back. No, I didn't. So I'm in the 8th grade. I should have been in the 9th grade, actually. I was held back one year in school because I flunked kindergarten. I wasn't ready for whatever reason for kindergarten. I don't know what reason that was, but that followed me. And I was in 8th grade. And I know how Shenmue concentrates on warehouse number 8. To me, that's like, when they made this game Shenmue, it's like, to me, I used to have these conversations uh, with my karate teacher, and I may never see him again, but I had these conversations with his teacher in the restroom after karate class, sometimes before karate class, maybe, but I had these conversations with him, and that's the only time that we were able to know each other. And now I want to say, this year I'm a minor. I'm not an adult. And even though I look like, really in this picture, I know that I realize I look like, to my teacher, it's in a lot of ways like he's getting out of, you know, he's getting out of his police training, like someone on a police force. It's like we're talking two guys on a police force in some ways, and it feels like that to him. I know, because my talent was so powerful and impressive. It was a special talent I had that year that, like even the body. If you could see, I want everyone to know, if you could see the rest of my body in this picture here, um, I look like I look like somebody that's on television, somebody that's, in other words, I'm wearing khaki pants like in Kickboxer. I'm copying that, and I'm wearing the stone khaki pants like Kickboxer 1 from 1989, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm wearing those khaki pants, and it's not just that I look like that by wearing those khaki pants. The rest of my body is very much reminding myself and other people of Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I want to emphasize, I know how, my teacher, he wanted me to, he wanted me to dress that way, and when I dressed that way, well, he didn't want me to dress that way. How to rephrase it? Okay, when I would dress that way, and it was that way a lot of times. I also used to wear these dark navy blue pants that were Dockers. They were Dockers brand, and it's 1995. That's very much reminded me of that Jin Kazama character. But you see, this is the thing about this. These are unofficial claims, and the only way to make these real is I have to have the approval of Sega, the approval of Bandai Namco. But I was a spiritual person, and I just didn't take pictures of myself for religious purposes that were just too spiritual. I was just such a spiritual person. Now, what I'm trying to say, getting back on that conversation, uh, my karate teacher wanted me to take pictures of myself, but I just, you know, I was so into, uh, whatever ideology, like the idea, just the fact of the idea of having the idea that I'm a spiritual, perfect person, whether it's following Christianity, sometimes I feel like I'm Buddhist, maybe I'm, so another religion, but see, that's the thing about this year. When I studied Buddhism, it was in the library, it was in civics class, it was, something I never contacted anybody about studying Buddhism. But I did I did watch Kung Fu The Legend Continues when I would come home from school. And, I would watch that, but it's just like, so, most people in my community of Melvindale, Michigan, and my culture, my background being Hispanic too, and American both, it's like, you know, I'm Christian, but and then I'm looking into other religions and other beliefs, studying other cultures, but kind of imagine like being Chuck Norris or Carlos Ray. It's kind of like that because he's Texas oriented background and Oklahoma background. That's where most of my family resides, in Texas, and the culture is like that. I also have relatives in Europe. Well, they go to Europe, but they're, what I mean to say, they're American, and yeah, most of them are British, Scottish, you know, just different, European backgrounds. But I always wondered why. I always wondered, and I want to say why am I have some relatives that go to Hawaii, and I have also like some family that's related to some of the people that go to Hawaii or that are living in Hawaii. But I don't. I'm to the best of my knowledge, um, I don't believe I'm Hawaiian, but I don't really want to know that I believe. See how to say it. I don't think I'm Hawaiian too, but some people confuse me for being Hawaiian, and like I mean, it would be kind of cool and funny to realize these days that I'm Hawaiian too, but that's something I may never know. Uh, sometimes you do these DNA tests, these ancestral tests, they don't pick up every nationality that you are sometimes. Like with a cotton swab with a cheek or whatever test, they don't always pick up every nationality in your bloodline. But people tell me and my dad, well, we're Hawaiian, we look Hawaiian. But my father is, I mean, I don't know how to, it's to my knowledge, I'm Hispanic, so I don't really just, I'm making this video because, uh, just for, purposes of, memory remembering these days. But I can remember when I had this picture. It was in class. It was strong junior high school. They called me out of class to take this picture, and my karate teacher always wanted me to wear green. I remember he told me he made such an emphasis on wearing green. He said, "Make sure you wear green." But you know how to really say this. um, it's normal, and I want to say this too. Um, I want to say something. Okay, occasionally, if a man goes through puberty, what's going to happen? He's going to masturbate sometimes, right? Now, that's occasional, and that's the same concerning me. Now, when somebody wants to, like exaggerate that fact that a man or a young man, he's young and he has a problem, he will masturbate, okay? And it's funny to me because, and it's funny maybe to everybody that, somebody has this problem, but there's no scientific evidence or proof that somebody's going to have like a communicable sexually STD or disease from that. There's no scientific evidence of that. And that's something I'm wanting to emphasize too. Now, me, myself, personally, I don't do that. And I don't do that chronically. I don't do it that often. If I do, well, I might buy KY jelly. I might buy something that, I gotta do something to be normal. And I know this topic may be a little off, but it may be a little right on, because that's the problem with this type of subject. Shenmue, Ryuzuki, you know, how to say this, okay? If I am to become this guy ever again in my lifetime, now the age I am now is age 42. Okay, I've been on psychotropic medicine since 1996. The next following year, I stopped taking anxiety medicine. I know I had real bad anxiety that year, 1995, but you can see that I became this person, really. If you look at me here, see, I became. Look at how strong. If you take off that shirt, I'm looking really sexy. But let me show you, okay? See this here? This is me. I'm 7 years. No, I'm actually 6 years on psychotropic medicine. The year here is 2002. It says Ryan. I moved from Melvindale, Michigan to Riverview, Michigan. Part of the reason I had too many people that were, pressure from bullies, people that kept wanting to fight with me and stuff. People that were making me not succeed in school to graduate. Which, in fact, I did get my high school diploma and I graduated. But this is the year 2002. And this dog came with us from Melvindale, Michigan. This dog and another dog named Pumpkin. There was a second English bulldog named Pumpkin. And that dog we had for so many years, and I'm not going to say the rest, but okay, see, you can see looking at my face. Yeah, I'm kind of numb. My brain's numbed up. I'm on medication. Yes. I'm just being honest with myself here and everyone. So I'm numbed up. Brain's on medicine, Really, I believe you're not supposed to take medication. You're not supposed to take medicine for, prescription medicine. You're not supposed to be on it. what was my answer? And the answer really for being alive, and I know it contradicts everybody, Christianity a lot. Well, because I had to follow what because I chose to follow the Ten Commandments for God to divinely heal me. I had bipolar disorder. I had major depression. I chose to follow the Ten Commandments, try to read the Bible, and God will just divinely, miraculously heal me, one of those, like one day I'll just be normal and be healed. Well, that's not how life is. That's not how my life worked. And really, like, I that didn't happen for me. I had I had I didn't have like outbursts of being mean or nothing, but I had these depression where it would make me weak, and I'd have nervous breakdowns and crap and anxiety and crap, and I was sad, and I needed a girlfriend all those years, and that's a major problem. I needed a girlfriend a lot of years. I cry over girls sometimes, but I remember some girls did like me, and I know going against like the disclaimer of Shenmue, I don't really want to go against the disclaimer of Shenmue. I don't want to do that, but this girl here, Nozomi Harasaki, and even this guy here reminds me of another student from Strong Junior High School, Melvindale. Like how Jackie Chan says, "Be strong," to Jaden Smith. I mean, I know these are big major actors, and these are big major people. Well, I had a real big dream in my past to be a martial arts movie actor. I used to watch Kickboxer 1, 2, and first it would start out with Bloodsport, then it go into Kickboxer 1 and 2. I had this movie, this VHS tape, and I would just watch it. I just watched that after I came out of school. Sometimes Power Rangers would come on television. But then sometimes, I didn't really watch Power Rangers much. I did somewhat, but I used to always make sure I watched Kung Fu The Legend Continues. Used to make sure I watched that. Or there would be VR Troopers that would come on, but, that one guy named Ryan Steele from VR Troopers, blonde-haired, American. See, that's what I grew up like. And that's what would come on television. And, this is the thing about this. See, nobody got to know me. Nobody got to know me in high school. I had major depression. I had bipolar disorder. I started taking Depakote, valproic acid, in the year 1997. And I wasn't always taking that. But, see, these medicines, they say, well, you shouldn't be on prescription medicine because it's like, see, how to really say it. My answer was sex with girls, getting to know girls and that. And that's part of, see, when the man goes through puberty, he goes through puberty. He's supposed to meet a girl that he's attracted to, and he has sex with her. Okay? Now, to be attracted to your mate, to somebody, that's not always the case. That's not always going to work. And that's what people really have to realize and understand. When you're going through these years of growing into a man, you need to be sexually active. And if you have to, use a condom. Use a condom, yes. Now, they don't talk about this. And you see if I go to a church and like, people are going to say, oh, well, that's not what God teaches you. That's not what the Bible teaches. This is the problem. This is the problem here. They don't tell you this. And if your parents don't tell you this, and you go through the crap that I went through, well, you're lucky to be alive, and you could be dead. And that's not an understatement. That's not a joke. People might be laughing, but you know why they call this undead Noid? I'm still alive. I'm here. I'm talking to you right now. I'm this guy. Okay, this is my patches that, I'm still planning. I have a 2XL jacket in my closet, and I'm planning on making another Shenmue jacket I really wish I would get to be a stronger man, but now I've had a dislocated shoulder problem. And let me tell everybody, the reason I lost at a tournament recently is because I had a car accident in the year 2005 in January, and I had a car accident, okay? So what happened, I had to jump out of my car after being hit on the road to save my life because my car wouldn't stop after turning the key. And after trying to stop my own car, I had to save my life. I had to jump out of my car at 45, 50 miles an hour. And that was on Southfield Freeway, getting off of Southfield Freeway. You know right where the Allen Park Shopping Center is, everyone? They call it On the Hill. Well, there was a Veterans Hospital where Chuck Norris used to visit sometimes. And that's where that On the Hill shopping mall is nowadays. But before that happened, I jumped out of my car to save my life. And my shoulder dislocated for the first time there. But my shoulders here in this picture were very much intact, very much healthy. You know, they say like stem cells, adult stem cells or stem cells, you know, maybe embryonic, whatever it is, they can heal a shoulder. Now, this is another contradicting, concern I have, concerning like being old or religious background or someone to follow Christianity, which, see, this is the thing about me. I don't claim that I don't really claim anything religious these days, spiritual, religious. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it because I don't like to do it. I don't like to claim any religion really because this is the problem. My life has been so misunderstood by myself that I was this Shenmue person in my own reality. And I used to have a brown suede jacket, yes. My karate teacher wanted to give me patches. He wanted me to have a jacket. And that's the other tiger in the On's Fabrications. I'm too spiritual, I didn't accept it. Now, if these ideas were sold, to Japan, you see, this is the problem here, okay? I don't want the Japanese to go to war with America over this, okay? And how to really say this? I'm not trying to get the people of Japan angry at me or people to think I'm nuts. But this is the problem here, okay? You see, it's real. This is my reality. Now, me talking about me being, Hawaiian or Brazilian or what was it? No, Asian Oriental descent in the beginning. You can see here, I kind of had some 5 o'clock shadows under my nose, but and I used to pick up a razor in the bathroom that new razors, and just shave them a little on my face. But I'm just starting to go through puberty here, and that's what will happen. Let me say, well, look at me here, okay? See, whatever. Oh, okay. Bad view, okay. See, what will happen to me here? My legs are strong, in a lot of ways, but this is I can't really show my muscles here. It's hard, but this is the problem, okay? Let me say this. There's some things online I'm a little scared to say, concerning like, okay, I'll just say this, and I don't really want to say it because this person has a family of her own and, she's got a family of her own. I don't want to say nothing. I had maybe 1-2 girlfriends in my lifetime, but this is the problem here. Here's the problem. Confidentiality reasons, her protection, my protection. So that's why they have a disclaimer of Shenmue, okay? That's why they have a disclaimer. I want to say that. And they say that it's merely coincidental. It's fictional. Well, yeah, it is. It's coincidental. you have to say that because I have a life. You know how in Shenmue 3 they have a bulldog on the Neo Wow arcade center? Okay. And then there's a lion on another one in Neo Wow. Well, I have this, see something about the lion. I'm not going to really say, but well, I might as well say my mother gave me a lion little pendant or something, and I don't post it online, but maybe one day I will. You'll see it online. I don't know if I will, but I have a little lion pendant or something, and my mom used to think of me, like Ryan the lion. Well, that's I became this guy here. I became this guy, and I don't think it's too late for me to be this guy again, really, but see if he's American, and what am I supposed to do? Get Brazilian wax now because I have some body hair on me now. But this is what everybody wants. Oh, they're thinking, oh, he's got to be a certain race. He's got to be a certain bloodline. He's not a real person, probably, this Ryuzuki, but he is to me because I did this fight choreography that year. I had the exact body from the Sega Dreamcast. Literally, I had the same body. It like, it mimics my body, this game. It resembles my body, my looks, everything this year. Now you can see my facial expression here is a certain way, but that's because I'm thinking of something, and at the time they told me not to do that facial expression here, but I did anyways because I was thinking of something else at the time. And that's, part of my history. I always wanted to do Taekwondo in my past, but that's because it was represented in a phone book. It was represented like as special Taekwondo. And I never even knew what Taekwondo was. I just started doing it naturally somehow. Okay, so, like, that's me, 2002. This is me, 1995. Now, let me tell everyone, people, you don't understand martial artists. You don't know anything about them. If you're a little 13-year-old girl, little 11, 10, 9-year-old girl, you may not understand this, okay? Pretty boy martial artist guys, they're not, just because they're a pretty boy and just because they say they're martial artists or just because whatever those things are, it doesn't mean you're going to get this. You're not going to get the real deal. And that's what the gamers and people coming online representing Shenmue might laugh. They're going to joke about it. Maybe they won't because I'm saying they will. But maybe I'm saying they won't. See, people don't really understand. I am from a generation of 1981 born, and I grew up in the 80s. I know how to be this kind of guy. I don't know if I even can be this guy, to be honest. These days, all the problems I'm having financially, not having my royalties from a degree that was stolen or misplaced, there's always reasons to protect somebody. There's always reasons to just disclaim that, some kind of. There's always reasons to deny it. Undead noid, notice of intent to deny. Notice of intention to deny. So I have to be denied because why? All he does is masturbate. No, that's not the truth of me. I don't just masturbate. And if I do, why? Why do people say that? Because what? I don't smell. And I don't, I'm not a dirty person because I'm Hispanic or whatever, but this is the problem. See, some people just get jealous of me. And I don't understand what the hell it is, really, because, well, whatever it is, let me say this. Whatever goes inside your body comes out your body. That's why you have a urinary tract system. That's why you have an immune system. But like when you're ignored, well, you just, when I'm ignored, what do? I play video games occasionally, I exercise, I diet, I work out, I take vitamins a lot, or don't. Right now, I'm not taking vitamins. I stopped taking vitamins right now. But what do I do? All this. What have I been doing all this time? That's what I've been doing. Working out, taking vitamins, playing video games. And what do I do when I masturbate? Well, I had already told everybody. See, this is the problem. People get scared of me. Like, oh, he's got a disease. He's got something wrong. Do I look like I have a disease here? Because I have the same color eyes. Do I look like I have, something wrong with my liver or something? No. I don't have nothing wrong with me, everybody. This is the problem. All this, this is what I want to say. Okay? And I'm just saying, I'm quoting like potential rumors because this is the problem. It's just like, it's a form of discrimination, really, to think this about, like, oh, Ryan Salazar has a disease. No, I don't have a disease. And the reason I don't talk to people is probably because I got this skin tone. I'm Hispanic, okay? And that's one reason I don't just talk to people. And I'm from Michigan, and that's the problem here. My family's from Texas, but yeah, I'm living in Michigan. And that's like opposites. Don't opposites attract everybody? What if I had fair skin tone like Joy? That's funny, huh? Or this girl. See? Joy looks like a fair skin tone girl. Why did they give her red hair? You want to top that off, Carrot Top? When did that Carrot Top guy come out, huh? When did he get on television? You see what I'm talking about, everybody? Carrot Top, Joy. It's ridiculous and, silly, funny. I don't know what to think of this stuff because, see, I don't say people certain names in that, but my teacher, I'd say this about my teacher. He's a good man, but, when some people, other students become like a pet also in class, and my teacher never got to know me, the talented pet, other than in class. Well, I don't know where all this went wrong. And maybe I do know where it went wrong. Maybe I know where it went wrong. But I don't really, how to say it. I don't want to say it on this video. But there needs to be like an out-of-court settlement for my royalties. Yeah, I was given royalties. My karate teacher in like warehouse number 8, going back, in the bathroom, he told me, he said, Ryan, you're going to have royalties given to you because your moves are in the games. I'm not saying that. Okay. My teacher said, Ryan, your moves are in the video games. You're going to be given royalties under copyright law. And he told me that. And that's really the truth. He told me that. And this is why I have an undocumented degree, everybody, in the United States Subakdo Mudo Kwan Federation. I'll say it again. The United States Subakdo Mudo Kwan Federation, formerly known as Tang Sudo, also known as Tong Sudo. When I trained it, it was like a military art because I was so good, people had to keep up with my talent. And at the time, yes. Then I reverted back to Tang Sudo because I stopped training. I had too much anxiety, mental illness, whatever it was. So I got better. And see, this is the thing about anxiety. I want to say, everybody. Yeah, I have anxiety nowadays, but this is, I think what it is. It could be also maybe these, I've been talking about getting royalties. I've been talking about, getting money for what I earned, what I did in the Federation, what I did for the Federation, what I did for the video game industry, what I did for Japan, what I did for myself, what I did for other people. I've been serving other people and nations and the Federation. I served people. It's like, I did a service for them. I provided a service. and I was to be compensated, and that I never was. Now that's, according to a degree that I earned in 1995, October 27th, 1995. The degree was presented to me, or that's the proof that I trained from the identification card that they coded as mental gond, because not because I was supposed to not keep that card from being bent, which maybe perhaps another teacher was saying. He was trying to play it down and say, oh, you don't want this to be bent. No, bento is referring to something Japanese, and I explained it before. My teacher, I wasted sushi one time, and gone is something like of another language, perhaps like an Indian, Hindi language. But there was a conversation we had, and that's why he remembers that. Everything you do in martial arts is spiritual and a memory too. And there's reasons why we code things. They coded that. And that degree I had too, it was coded for something, it's encoded. And I'm going to say this too. The last degree I had was encoded as Watermelon Festival. And, even though I got a new degree, well, it also states that my name isn't relevant. It's a stupid degree, really, to me. And this is the problem. Okay. If that degree before that, preceding that, the one I earned in 1995, and I'll say this, Sabam Zigafus, if that degree is not honored, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that if that degree is not honored as Ryu Hazuki for what I did for Shenmue, if that degree is not honored, if I'm not compensated, and I'm not respected in the Federation and around the world for who I am and what I did, even though the training would benefit me and probably make me this guy, again, Ryu Hazuki, it's just not respecting me as a human being and with my human rights being disrespected to not acknowledge that that's one of the titles I earned was Ryu Hazuki, and also this this Jin Kazama character. See, this is the problem. When you give somebody a title, you don't take it back. You don't take it back like you made a mistake. That teacher I had was a straight A student, a valedictorian, and and the teacher I had, the other one I had, well, he's like the same thing, but they salute the one I had because he's a salutatorian. I know that, but that's the thing about this. I know I'm putting out personal info, but I can't get into class. I can't get my training, and so they're both like valedictorians. Those guys that trained me, but and then there's a few other dons that they're intellectual people, but I'm saying his name, so part of his name, because this is the problem I'm having. I need my training. I need to be represented. Hell, I'm willing to get on television. I'm willing to get on TV and represent myself if I can re-become this person, but this is the problem here. I may not be this person again, but I might be this person again. But in any case, I need to be given my royalties, whether this personal matter is settled outside of a court, because this is the problem too. People have pride, and they don't want to look bad, in life and on TV. I understand that. This matter could be settled outside of court. I'd be more than happy. Let's settle this outside of court. And I don't have to make a big deal about it like an O.J. Simpson trial. But that's to be deemed and determined by the legal authorities, because, see, this is the thing. I don't want an O.J. Simpson trial. I don't want to be like a big deal. Like, an O.J. Simpson trial, well, that was a murder trial. But this right here, this is not that. This is like, this is concerning like copyright law, royalties. And it seems to me really like a lot of people probably are talking about me right here in Michigan. I can kind of tell probably people are talking a lot about this. They have talked about what they think of my channel and that, and around the world probably. But this is the thing about this. This is Shenmue, everybody. And this tiger here, this patch, it means something, really. It means something to me because, you know, that's my accomplishment, that's my achievement. But this is the thing about this. I don't want my legacy to be like a court hearing. I don't want my legacy to be that. If anything, I wanted my legacy to be this guy again. But if anything, I'd just like to make it in life and get my royalties also. You see, I need to get my money and my compensation. See, let me say this. To recreate Ryu Hazuki, you can't just do that. There's only one Shenmue and one Ryu Hazuki, if there's anything. But that's not supposed to be told, really. That's not supposed to be told. That's not supposed to even come out, if anything. Because why? I never had support of my... I never really had the support of my own family to do this. But that's because they didn't know that my moves were in this video game also. And I just told them this. But I always knew this. I wanted to tell this girl I dated that my moves were in the video game. I wanted her to play this video game with me in the basement of my house. She never would. She never would. She never cared. It's all about her, right? You know who you are, who you guys are, and this is what I'm saying. She never cared, but I think she probably regrets. She might regret it, but I don't really think she regrets it nowadays. If she got compensated with money, see that degree. I think what happened, the royalties on that degree, my karate teacher's name was also on that degree. And I think the money on that degree went to other people, other parties, other members, people that he knew, and he didn't give me nothing. But that's probably because this girl I dated was the same girl he dated later in life. And that's the problem when you have a karate class. Sometimes the karate students date their teachers. And just like the Philip Ree case, well, not Philip Ree, okay, just like the Ree family and the Presley family, you know, that's kind of what I feel like I'm kind of experiencing. Elvis Presley, okay, the Priscilla and the Ree family, those days, what happened there? The karate teachers, okay, the karate teacher dated the student or something. Well, that's kind of a similar case I have. And even though I'm not represented like a celebrity like Elvis Presley or anything, but this is the problem here. This girl I dated will deny everything and lie about everything, I imagine, because she wants to be that way, because she doesn't care. And she, let me say this too. I found one picture of myself and this girl, and there were a lot of pictures we took. We went to Florida. And that's another problem. See, I think actually, perhaps, maybe I'm wrong, but I think later she might have went to Florida again, like in a way to get over knowing me. Maybe that was part of it. She won't admit that. No, she won't admit anything because she's got pride, and she's got a whole lot of pride. She's better, right? See, it's just it's a problem for me to be angry about these things, and it's hard to not be angry about this because that's my degree, that's my past, and those royalties, if they went to her family and she got my money and other people she knows got my money, well, that's just sick, isn't it? It's wrong, it's sick, but she don't want anyone to know that if that's the case. Okay, and I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's what really happened here with that degree I had, because my karate federation, the people there, they just say it's undocumented. Why is my degree undocumented? Why can't I get another copy of that degree? That's because they know what that degree means, but they don't give it out because I earned way too much respect, way too much honor, way too much I earned. I even earned a house in Japan. The Hazuki residence, I believe, was my residence. But they don't just say that in Shenmue. Sega doesn't just claim these things, do they? No, they don't. Sega doesn't just claim this. Uh, Japan doesn't just claim this. You know, there's a lot of sources and parties that do not just claim these things. And let me say, it's a problem because why? Well, my teacher is like the perfect human being, even though he didn't pick the best job in the world. You know, he didn't pick the best job. I don't even know what he's doing nowadays. He might have a different identity now because he's I'm not gonna say anything, but that's what I'm saying. You see, and this girl I dated, it's funny because let me say this. She followed me from her city of Detroit. She knows I'm from Melvindale, and she followed me all the way to Riverview, Michigan, and doesn't have the nerve or this decency to tell me the truth, what her real intentions were. And I believe she collected money, and I believe that, that's where my royalties went. Somehow she gave it to her friends, family, and that's the thing about this. I'm too scared to call her and just have this conversation with her. Like, she's got a husband and kids now, but this is the problem. It's like I'm too afraid to say anything these days because why? Oh, that guy's got bipolar disorder. They'll just call the police on him. We'll just call the police, or it's just a bunch of crap. So, what am I gonna do with my life? How do I move on? How do I move on from my martial arts legacy? See, my karate teachers tell me just to let it go and that. Well, that's the problem. That's not something I can just do. I can't just let this all go. That's too hard to do. How do I just let it go? And I can't do it. I'm getting therapy right now. I'm talking to a therapist. I'm getting professional therapy for this. Okay? This girl has a lot of nerve to do this to me, but hey, I can't really say everything that happened. And this is the problem. I go through this hell. I've been through hell since I was a kid because I'm not really raised to be a martial artist. No, my parents wanted me to work. Or how do I say it? Yeah, I say it like that. I'm raised to work. My family is a Ford Motor Company family, and this is the problem here. They don't raise me to be a fighter or a martial artist. I made friends recently with a boxing coach and that. I made friends with the next kickboxer recently in my community, and he's a famous guy, kind of, but or real famous, I don't know. But this is the problem. My shoulder is not the same now, so I can't really just be a fighter. I can't just win in karate tournaments. That guy that I had an opponent against, he claims he's from Japan. He might have been Korean. He might have been another Oriental or Asian descent nationality. But he won because I don't have experience with tournaments. I don't, and that's another thing. I'm not loved for so many years. For so many years, people are mean to me. And not only that, I had that shoulder problem. I don't have the experience in tournaments. Um, so, even though I got 1 or 2 points off of this guy, or maybe 3 points, or whatever, or four, I don't know, but a drive-through roundhouse kick is not going to matter. Like in Tekken 8 of Jin Kazama versus Kazuya, they don't tell you these things. But that's a copy of the tournament I had, the Silverado tournament, 2022 Cup. And I don't know if they're going to post that tournament. It looked pretty bad. I mean, I would keep running back to my opponent, but Ryuzuki runs too in the introduction of the Shenmue the anime. You can see him running, and you can also see Jin Kazama running. You notice how they do the same things, the same moves, same behavior and that? Well, that's part of my past. And from the degree that's undocumented, the royalties, the money, the compensation I earned, I believe went to other people and other parties because of uh, uh, how many reasons why. Discrimination, is some of it racism, is some of it, and let me say this, the discrimination forums probably is because of, oh, I'm a guy, he's mental, he's got bipolar. Well, this is the problem. The only reason I'm shouting and screaming sometimes, I'm shouting, like that song, Sparking for Tekken 5? Shout, scream, shit, shout, shout. You know how they say that? That's the problem I have sometimes. Maybe my family doesn't understand me, but that's the problem. I'm not raised this way. And why did they say that? That's copied all off of me for how many years? Yeah, oh yeah. And I can prove this. I know this. I'm going on 51 minutes here. This is a long video, and I'm going to be posting this. And this is Retro Rizuki 81. And this is the problem I have. Okay, that money, gone. Probably gone. And I don't know if I'll ever get it back, ever get the respect of that degree back. It's just like, what am I going to do? Am I just going to die in my room, everybody? See, that's the whole problem. No respect. No respect to what I did for Shenmue. Everybody wants to deny it. And all these big names in the Shenmue industry, James Rayner, Corey Marshall, all the administrators, who else are their names? Yu Suzuki, all these people. These are people, everybody. And just because they represent Shenmue officially, it doesn't mean that I'm not this guy. See, this is the problem. I can't just prove this if my karate teacher doesn't want to stand up for me. Well, this is what it's going to be like. I'm going to be stuck here in Riverview, Michigan, and with nothing. Remember Bob the Bachelor was from Riverview, Michigan? Remember that, everybody? It's funny, because I remember watching him. At the time, I was dating that girl. Sarah, Bob, Raymond, Mike, Chris. How many names I'm going to say? Not going to say their full names, but Joe. It's funny. Funny because what? Am I the joke? Am I the joke, everybody? Did I give you guys this money? See, that's the problem I have. I earned this for everybody. I earned everybody's money. You have my money. You have my earnings. You earned it through me. How'd you earn it? You took it from me. See, is that what really happened? I earned it, and you guys never made nothing of yourselves other than from your education. But the royalty payout, that degree, was something I earned. That's something I needed when I was mentally ill. When I was going through mental illness, I needed to be told that. When I had no money in my early 20s, I needed that money to become this guy before it was too late. I needed to be told everything by my teacher. You can be this guy again, Ryan. We can follow our dreams. Nope. There's a wedge, and that wedge was very much like a carrot. And this is Retro Rizuki 81. And I don't mean to put anybody in danger, but this is the problem. I need my money. I need my respect. I need my payout. I need it. I need it. This is what I'm trying to say. I still want to be a martial arts movie actor. And this is what I was supposed to be right there. Shenmue. That's what I'm supposed to be. I can still do it probably at this age. I'm thinking it's possible, but oh, he's not a young pretty boy. He's not sexy. He's not a sexy guy from Cobra Kai. Oh, I don't want to get naked with him. See, that's what people are going to say. That's what little girls are going to say. But hey, I don't know what to say about all that, because that's the thing about this. It's not about, martial arts, movie actors, everything in life is not about sex. But this is what I'm saying. Everything in life is about the truth. And when you hide it and deny it, you have what? More problems. More and more problems. And they build up, and they don't just go away, those problems. They linger until they eat you alive. And they might eat you alive, or they might not, but they just stay. And I don't want my problems to stay. I want to get better. I want to be the man I'm supposed to be, which it could be this guy again, because I'm still wanting to train martial arts. So I don't know where this is going to go. And thank you very much, everybody, for watching this video. Don't mean to offend anybody. I don't mean to offend anybody. And if I said names, well, I only said the first name of people, and that's the truth. And this is Retro Ryuzuki 81.